We just start with the boring stuff. Any team news, major injuries or major people coming back?
Johnny Kotrumbus is out for a few weeks. Then we've had obviously Elliot and Cookie resuming in full training, and they've had a few extra days now to get up to speed, which has been good for them. And then we'll see tomorrow if we feel they're ready.
I remember when you walked in here months back. Obviously, the first league game was Rangers. Honestly, what did you think you could achieve this season, and how does it compare with where you are just now? Everyone's talking about your football. Everyone's talking about the amazing season.
No, I was quite optimistic and confident that we could be effective and successful with our approach. How and how fast was a big question mark. But obviously the first performance against Rangers lifted that optimism and that confidence in terms of if we can be as competitive now that early in our development phase against one of the bigger clubs, then let's see how we are when we are 6, 7, 8 months ahead. And now we are where we were looking at back then and thinking, okay, that could be interesting. And I think we've been on a very good journey so far. Things have gone our way, some things have not gone our way, but the main thing is that we have taken full responsibility for our own development and also learned a lot from the few defeats or a lot of the mistakes we've made along the way, and that was the main thing, that we keep focusing on how to improve and how to learn from that. And I think we're in a really good and strong position now.
Absolutely. Everyone's talking about your football and your forwards, but one of the most amazing stats, certainly for me, is that nobody scored here in nearly 4 months since Falkirk came here. How did you do that? And are you as proud of that as up at the other end?
We've scored quite a bit.
Sorry,
but fair enough.
Opponents.
First of all, so there's two things to that. First of all, as long as we have the ball, it's difficult for the opposition to score unless we put it in the back of the net ourselves, which we haven't done. The other thing is, if we have the ball a lot, they spend a lot of energy on chasing it and defending against us. And if we then pose a threat at the same time, then they spend even more energy on trying to make sure we don't create chances and score goals. And so the lift on our attacking side of the game has made the opposition spend even more energy and also sometimes change things up of what they usually do, both in terms of approach but also formation, which sometimes makes it more difficult to perform at their best. Then we have been a little bit lucky at times. There was a really close call here against Kilmarnock in the beginning of that game. There was a shot in the post. Then we've had a goalie who's just been better and improved a lot. Showed a really, really high level with his passing under pressure from day one, but has improved fantastically with his normal goalkeeper skills in terms of stopping the opposition from scoring, making saves, getting out in the box, and so on. And then it's about balance. It's about finding that right balance between having the ball, being good in attack, and then being defensively solid, aggressive, intense, well structured, disciplined at the same time. And that is something we have been working on every day since we started to get that balance right. And eventually it got better and better, and now have over the last period of time given us a very stable defensive platform, especially here.
As honestly as you can be, what's the target now? 4th, 3rd, higher?
The target is to win on Wednesday. That's the target. And then I know a lot of you will probably ask me that question again, but with a little bit more. Please say something so we can have a headline and sell some papers, which is fair enough. Look, we'll see where we are when we are closer to the end of the season. We are in a good position to make top 6. and that is like our first big aim for the season. Then if we make that, then we are gonna, as I said before, we're gonna reach out, but we're gonna do that by breaking the league down in games, and then from there breaking the game down in phases, moments, details, in terms of the small situations, and obviously individual quality and what you need to be able to do from each position and each role, and then we're gonna reverse that again and put it into 90 minutes performances, which gives us an opportunity to win, and that's basically what we're doing and what has brought us here. And then implement, or we have done that, but drive a style that develops us no matter if we win or lose.
You mentioned things that may have not gone your way this season, and one of those things you're referring to was the last time you were at Ibrox, when I think you were unhappy about the decision. Is that still rankled with you even now?
Oh, please don't talk about that, get me wind up. I've tried to forget about that. Now you were very kind to remind me. I still believe that it was a big mistake, but let that be. We've moved on, and that's what it's all about. No matter if it's the opposition or a call from the referee that we disagree with, or if it's us making a mistake, then it's about reacting in a positive and constructive way, and be ready to react. Prepare that reaction by having a mindset that is quick to react, and just where we anticipate things happening that we are in control of and that we are not in control of, but that will happen and not go our way, but just be ready to react and use that to our advantage by being one step forward. And that's what we're going to do. We don't expect us to be flawless, and we don't expect the people around us or the referees to never make mistakes. And I think that's the most important thing for us. So we'll have to try and do what we can control also on Wednesday, and then try and tip it our way.
Rangers have changed a lot since then, have improved a lot since then, they've got a lot more options. How difficult is that for you to plan, if you don't know what your team's going to be?
I think it's now Danny has had the team for a while now, so I think it's a lot easier to see what he wants to do with the team. Obviously he has made them a lot better structured defensively, more disciplined. They have recruited a lot of players with qualities, but many of them have physical traits and very athletic, tall players, which works well for the area where they have really been good on attacking set plays, where they've scored a lot of goals, created a ton of chances, decided many games on it, and it's a big it's going to be a big focus point for us against them on Wednesday, that we have to shut that down. Yesterday I think they scored 4 or 5 after a corner, so it's I think they have been really good at finding that way to how can we, with small details, make us even more competitive. How can we win the games? And we saw that last time we played them. We had our moments, we didn't take them, and then suddenly, boom, they punished us, and then they got a win. Even though I think we deserved or put a performance out there that could and should have given us at least a point.
It's very unusual for us to have 3 or 4 teams up at the top of the league battling for the title in Scotland. You're obviously just here for the first season, but do you get that sense that it's a kind of special season in Scottish football?
No, I understand, and I also obviously I know a little bit about the history in Scotland, and it has been a 2-horse race traditionally. I think it probably still is, but then there's this odd season here and there. Where both teams have parts of the season, both the big 2 clubs have parts of the season where they struggle, and then suddenly you have 1 or 2 other teams who perform above what you would expect, and then suddenly leading into that last stage. Now we're not quite there yet, but we are there where we are getting close to that last stage, and hearts are still quite up there. Then I know a lot of you are trying to convince us that we are also right there in the mix for the title. It's not something that we talk about. inside these walls. We talk about how to win the next game and how to beat everyone, no matter where and who and when we play them. And if we find ourselves up there with one game to go, and we need a win to win the title, then I promise you, I will tell my players, let's try and go and win the game.
How much are you enjoying it though? I mean, every game is a big game this season.
More than I probably could have dreamt of before I started, and that is a testament to everyone who's involved in this football club, from the groundsmen to the staff, the players, board of directors, all the volunteers and the fans. It's been a great atmosphere to enter, and a great opportunity for me to come in with a lot of room to affect things in a way I imagined would be interesting, and have that backing along the way. So I'm enjoying it more than I could have dreamt of.
We ask you about the title because you deserve to be asked about it because of the way that you're playing, no, and the success that you've had. Is that fair?
Well, look, you can ask me all the questions you want. I will, and I think it's fair. I'm not going to create headlines about it. And I said before in an interview, like, realistically, there's no chance that Motherwell can fight against the two big clubs with the budget gap there is in Scottish football. So that's what you get. But I appreciate, and we appreciate all the credit and the positivity that's around us. We try to use it to our advantage by not getting ahead of ourselves. We know that losing 2 or 3 games in a row, which could happen, could make us and fight with our fingernails to just get in and stay in top 6.
I'll ask you, under Danny Rule, obviously they're going really well at the moment, Rangers, but they have dropped points at Dundee United, Hearts and Hibs away from home, and we know what your record is here at Fir Park. How much do you think home advantage will count on Wednesday? Look,
if it was just about statistics, then we would be fine, and then we could just sit back and relax, couldn't we? But it's not. But of course we have a lot of confidence going out here playing, and we'll see if that's to our advantage. That's for me. That's more if it's something that Rangers are thinking too much about or overthinking about. We are not. We know it's a top team that has so much momentum and have recruited really well. And as I said, Danny has really gotten that club on track, and that was not easy when he arrived. So let's. I haven't looked at the statistics and told the players we'll be fine. I have looked at Rangers and the footballing part of it.
We asked you about how much Rangers have changed since the last time you met them. How much, whether it be new faces or even confidence, just having that longer sort of sustained period of picking up these good results. How much do you think your team's changed since then?
In terms of style of play, not that much. In terms of performance levels and effectiveness, quite a bit. But then again, we have to show that. We have to show up and show that, and play to our highest levels. And they are a little bit higher now than they were in the beginning of the season, or quite a bit higher. And that is because a lot of players have developed quite substantially, and the team structure and everyone, it's more natural, instinctive what we do now, a lot more flow. And then obviously the period of results going our way and not having conceded many goals here for a while, it just sets people even more free. You saw some nervous moments in the first game from both teams, I think, and that's what, the first game of the league. Everyone wants to get a good start. It can be a little bit shaky at times. We saw that for us in the beginning. We saw it a little bit with Rangers at times. I think you'll see two very confident teams out here on Wednesday who really believe in themselves.
Just ask you finally, I know you're sort of speaking about the how we can speak about targets and what this team can achieve. I think in your first answer you still said about, you know, there's still mistakes and improvements, or mistakes you want to cut out, improvements you want to make. You don't think you've seen the best of this team yet. You're I don't know if satisfied is the right word, but you know, you still think there's more to come from this team.
I hope so, because we still have 13, 14 games to go. So I really hope so. Plus some really exciting cup games as well. I hope so, and I strongly believe that these players will keep growing as a team and as individuals. And if that, you know, if you can read that from us suddenly starting to win 3, 4, 5, 6-0 every time, I don't think so. But it's the little things that has if you break the season so far in 2 halves, then we could see that we needed to improve a lot of things the first part, and we have done that in many ways. There's still stuff we need to improve, and that has helped us getting a lot more points in the next second half of that half. And if we keep learning and keep focusing on, okay, here is a little bit of detail we need to look at. Now we've got an Aito in, for example. It's a good example. A different type of 9, very physical, strong, good hold up, good in the box, set plays. Then how do we set his strength into play when he's playing? How do we get that quality into our team as well? And that's something we're working on. And that in that aspect, it has been really good for us to have a few extra sessions here the last week.
You mentioned having Aitor available, but last time Tawanda Masonise wasn't available to play Rangers. How big an impact could they have tomorrow?
I hope they can have a really big impact, because we saw last time at Ibrox that we had even more speed on top when the game opened up, and it was quite open at times. What we have seen JT really thrive in that, so I really think that he could make a big impact in the game against Rangers, like he does in all the other games. But I think he's a handful for any team, and he would be against a Rangers side that opens up at times. So we're really happy that he's here now. And then, as I said, we'll have to see how we also activate our new centre forward as well into that. And his physicality could be very, very useful against a team that is good in both ends of the pitch in the physical aspect. That he can really come in and compete there as well.